Hi everyone, Cendril here, and welcome to another day in Stardew Valley. Clear and sunny all day. Mildly perturbed today. Here's a reminder of the fish you can find only in summer. Dorado, found in forest rivers during the day. Rainbow trout, found in forest rivers and in the mountains during the day. Pufferfish, found in the ocean in the early afternoon. And octopus, found in the ocean during the morning. Catch them while you can. So a lot of these are during the day, not at night. Which is a problem because you probably have a lot of crops to water and things like that. But if you don't, you can check those out. Do I need any of those? Here's the question. For the community center. We need one more for the animal bundle. Tuna red snapper, no. Lake fish, no. Okay. Good. Fine with that. Apples, which come in the fall. Red cabbage, we'll have to save one of those. Truffle and the fiddlehead fern. Okay. I missed the, I was too busy talking about, you know, cool card games that I missed the Traveling Merchant. That's okay. Today, I'm going to talk about board games, because me and my friends play a lot of board games as well, and I was asked about board games and card games. Some board games that we like to play are kind of longer board games, so you have to have some time to play them. But, just like with card games, there's a wide variety of board games that we play. One that I like to play, but we've only played it a few times because my friends don't like it as much as I do, is the XCOM board game. I really like it. It can be really brutal. That one is also a co-op game. It's you versus the aliens, and each of you takes a role. Some of you, one of you will be over like fighter pilots. One of you is over funding, how to spend the money basically. One of you is over the troops that go fight. It's 1 to 4 players, I believe. You can play it yourself, and just go up against the game, because the game is who you're fighting against. And the way that works is there's an app for it, and it will, like, the AI will do different things depending on what happens. I thought it was a lot of fun. You can play on easy until you get really good at it, and even on easy, just like on XCOM, it can still beat you. It can be a really close game, just because XCOM is hard. So, I really like that one. I think it's a really fun board game. It's co-op. We have some not so co-op games that we play, board games. They're a lot of fun. If you're looking for a co-op one, I really like the XCOM board game. Especially if you like XCOM, it can give you that XCOM feel of difficulty. So you can definitely lose to that game. But you can win too, you know, if things go your way. And there's some randomness added to it as well, just like XCOM, like how you hit and miss. Same type of deal. Not quite ready yet. Yeah, cabbages. But overall, I think it's a really neat board game. What are some board games we have been playing lately? I'm trying to think. A lot of the board games we have are competitive, because that's just how most board games are, of course. Wow, we play a lot of card games here lately. Not as many board games. More card games. Though we have a huge stack of board games. We could fill up a good-sized shelf with the board games we have, and probably still have some left over not on the shelf. We have a lot of board games. Let's see. Oh, one that's kind of a classic at this point. That's a lot of fun to play. Is Settlers of Catan. C-A-T-A-N. If you've not heard of that game, that is a great game for all ages. It is competitive, though. You're working to get to a certain number of points first. Check out Catan. If you don't know Catan, it's kind of a classic. It's been around for a long time. There are digital versions now. But I like just breaking out the board game and playing it. There are expansions for that one. It's been around for a while that you can play that add even more things to it. I've not gotten to play many of the expansions, sadly. I've just gotten to play the base game and one expansion, but I really enjoyed it. Did I already cow? Sep? Answer is no. And cheese. So, check out Catan. I really like playing that one. It's another one that we play. Have played in the past. I'm just trying to think of all the board games we have. I'm just trying to pick a few to talk about. Catan's, it's not hard to play, but it's a little hard to explain. Because there's different resources you get and you build things. Once you see it, though, it's not intimidating. Trust me. We have board games that are intimidating. That one is not. It's not super intimidating. You can read the instruction booklet, pick it up pretty fast, and after a game, you'll have it down. Has some rolling dice involved. Let's see. We have... Wow, I'm just drawing a blank on board games we have. We have a ton. I'm trying to stay away from the ones that take many hours to play. Like, we have one called Mage Knight, which is a ton of fun. But it is very intense. It's co-op and competitive at the same time. Which is kind of a weird mix, I know. But the thing about Mage Knight is you could be playing it for hours. And when I say hours, I mean several hours. I'm talking 5-6+ hours. It is a super long board game. And we have a few like that. And I'm trying to stay away from those. Because while they can be a lot of fun, that's all you're doing for that night. You're like dedicating the night to playing that. And if you really enjoy the game, that's good. I'm not saying Mage Knight's a bad game. It's a very good game. Very, very good board game. But it's not something we play often. We've played it maybe twice, just because it takes a long time to play. And there's like a lot of pieces. Speaking of a lot of pieces, another game we have like that is Talisman. And we have most of the expansions to Talisman. If you would like to play Talisman or see what it's like, get the digital version. Just because there's a ton of pieces to keep up with that board game. And it's a great board game. It's so much fun to play. You play as like an adventurer, and you're trying to get to the middle of the board, which is where the Crown of Command is, and it's completely competitive. And you're trying to reach the middle of the board. But it can also be a super, super long game. And you like get equipment, you fight monsters to boost your stats, your strength and magic stat. You have spells you can get, magic items. It's a ton of fun, but it is daunting to set up, especially when you have the expansions. Daunting to set up and daunting to put away. And now a lot of the game is on Steam digitally, so I really recommend that. It's not flawless digitally, but it plays extremely well. We have it. That's how we play Talisman now. It is a fantastic game, fantastic board game. But one you will want to play digitally, in my opinion, just because, unless you don't mind having to deal with a ton of pieces. So, there's that. What else? There's those, and those are the type of games I want to stay away from. We have shorter board games that are a lot of fun. XCOM can take a little while to play too. Board games just in general take longer than card games. So we have a lot of them. We don't play them. We don't get to play them as much. I'm really drawing a blank on the board games. I mean, we have a ton. A ton of tabletop games, tabletop board games that we have and have played and that are a lot of fun, but man, I'm really blanking out there. I'll come back to this topic and talk more about board games for sure, because as I said, we have a lot. Sunfish. New record. That I can go over. I'll like make some notes of some of the board games we have that are a ton of fun, and I'll tell you about them. Chub. Yep, none of the fish because it's past there. Maybe I'm just not in the right spot. Maybe I should be, in the mountains or somewhere. It's starting to get late, so starting to see the same fish. That's all I have for board games right now. Like I said, we could fill a shelf up with board games, but for some reason I really blanked out on on board games other than the ones that are more lengthy to play. Just like you have a. There's not a lot of co-op board games either, which is a shame, but there are some. One that comes to mind is Pandemic. Pandemic is a board game where you play as researchers, and you're trying to find a cure to these viruses that have happened. And you have a role, and it's a completely co-op game, and you're trying to find the cures for these viruses and then get rid of them. It's a lot of fun to play co-op. It's because it's a co-op game. There is a competitive variant, like expansion you can get. I don't like it. It takes away from the game a lot. But just the base Pandemic game. There's one called Pandemic Legacy as well, where the game changes depending on whether you win or lose. It sounds cool, but those games typically don't have a lot of replay value. But just the base game is really, really good. It's, like I said, it's completely co-op. And you like move around like the board, which is like the board has like, the kind of like Risk, how each part is broken up. Just, like North America is broken up into a few different sections. South America is, Australia has 2 sections. It's like that. It's kind of like that. It's in different. They're broken up into different places, and you move your character around the board, and you get cards that help you. Things like that. But it's completely co-op, which makes it a lot of fun to play. To me, we have a lot of competitive games. But we have a few co-op ones, just like card games. There are competitive board games, and there are a few cooperative ones if you want to play with your friends instead of against them. We have a lot, and I'll come back to this subject. Like I said, I kind of blanked out, and I really apologize for that. We do have a lot of board games, but I said I just completely blanked out on the board games we have, other than the really long ones, just because of how fun they are, but how absolutely daunting they can be to put up, to set up and put up, both. So... see over here. Oh! Actually, I have a scene. Oh, Cendril, care to join me? Sure, what's going on? Let me just go ahead and tell you what's on my mind. Have terrible luck with women, Cendril. I'm a nice guy if you get to know me, I swear. Sure you are, buddy. Girls all seem to like you, Cendril. Well, currently taken. Got any tips? Impress her with your strength and charm? Obviously, my girlfriend would say it was that one. Just kidding. Act crazy just to keep people guessing. Just act natural, be yourself. Treat women the same as men. Well, it's, well, you know, kind of a combination of these two. But I mean, really, to be honest, and it's just how I feel. You just got to be yourself. And that's the problem. I do act natural. Never have any success. Hi. Hi, Clint. What can I get for you tonight? Yes! I mean, have the big and cheesy. Extra sauce, please. He gets all nervous. That's the problem. I understand that. get nervous too. Hi, Cendril. Hey, Emily. What's up? Thanks, Emily, for taking my order. Emily? I was wondering. Spit it out, man! Yes, Clint? Never mind. Hi, Shane. Here's your beverage. Thanks, Emily. So, how's your shift coming along? It's fine. Thanks for asking, Shane. Have any new chicken stories for me? There you go, Clint. You just need to, tell a story. Let her know who you are. I'm doomed. I used to think the same thing, Clint. It's okay. I got really lucky. I have a wonderful girlfriend now. Wonderful. But I've gushed about her in previous episodes, so... I get the struggle, Clint. I understand. You got her nervous, but you just need to be yourself. You can't be afraid. And it's easy for me to say that because, I got afraid a lot. But you really do, you just have to be yourself. And if you do that and they like you, then they'll like you for a long time because they know who you are. It's not an act. That's what I believe. I've been told that doesn't really work, but hey, it's worked for me now. And I just think that's the way you have to go. You just need to be yourself. Because you put on this act and then, maybe you do, get a date or whatever. Then they find out that's not who you really are after a while. Then they're, completely... And it just doesn't work. That's how I feel about it. You should, of course, put your best foot forward, but, don't put on an act. Be yourself. Be who you are. Until the next episode, where I'll talk about something else, and I'll come back to the board games, and I'll tell you some more board games and tabletop games that me and my friends have that are a lot of fun. Until next episode, I'm Cendril89. Remember to shoot for the stars, and take care, everyone.